Hi there, it's time to look at Bitcoin Cash and see what are the whales doing and where Bitcoin Cash price would be heading to. If you're new to my sessions, I'll cover the Wyckoff stage, the trend change risk as well as key price levels, and these are not financial advice, they're for education purpose only. We'll start with the weekly chart of Bitcoin Cash. Currently, Bitcoin Cash is still at a late stage distribution, meaning the whales are still offloading whatever they have on hand to the retail or the smaller fishes. Last week, it was a pretty deep drop, from the previous week, 2 weeks earlier, challenging this red line at around 680. It go all the way through the 615 green key level, finding support at the ceiling of the long-term playground for Bitcoin Cash at around $575. This week, there's still 5 days and 6 hours left. Currently, the bears is having an upper hand, pushing the price below that 575 line. The next line of support, or the next key level, is at 530. So last week we already talked about the pessimistic case is that Bitcoin Cash will eventually come down to show us some sign of weakness. The very first stop is exactly around that yellow key level of 530. If, however, it exhibits some behavior like what it did back in mid-October and mid-November last year, the second level of sign of weakness may show up at around $450, the orange key level. So there are obviously, mini rally that exists during this, this leg downwards. Those are possibilities, but not a must to happen. If it happens, then we have those sign of weaknesses valleys. If it doesn't, if it goes all the way with a sharp drop to accumulation, something similar to what happened here back in January last year, when it dropped all the way back to the accumulation range, there wasn't any rebound. Then there's no sign of weakness stage. There's no warning, basically. Okay, so that's the pessimistic view. The positive view, or the optimistic view, my brain was stuck for a second, is a accumulation. So what happening throughout this period is basically reaccumulating for a higher high later on. Just that is very challenging as of this moment if you think about all the events that are happening, may it be economy or the global geopolitical risk side of things. So it's really a big test for Bitcoin Cash. I shared many sessions back that Bitcoin Cash is somehow behaving in a way similar to Bitcoin. It's not coming down and it's not going up either. So it's like waiting for a direction, waiting for bigger news to push the price to either side, either south or north. Alright, that hasn't happened. So that's why the price is kind of like range bound for a few months. So when we get to the daily chart, last week I said somewhere before 17th of Jan, a trend change confirmation would come. And indeed it happened. It confirmed on the 14th, on Wednesday, last Wednesday, that this uptrend that started back in November 21st is broken. Alright, that day confirmed. And the next day on the 15th, on Thursday, the bears give it an even harder push when the bulls try to push the price back to above the green key level of 615. And now, obviously, you can see the price go even further down to challenge through the key level of 575, and yesterday it tested the 560 level that was set by the previous trading activities. As you can see here, there was very frequent support and resistance exhibited since July last year. So that's why this 560 level, we are seeing some sort of rebound yesterday. Alright, so that's the case for Bitcoin Cash for now. If you're interested to access these sessions 2 days earlier than the others, it's time to join the channel membership now. See you in the next session for FET. Ciao.